in a while, I would just kind of, I don't know, recluse into the room for a few days, don't see anybody, wait for it to pass, come back out. I didn't know how to verbalize anything. It took me like just, I don't know, coming out of my own shell to, number one, go like acknowledge I had an issue. And then number two, go and try and get some help to find out really what's going on. Because it was starting to get pretty bad. But once I found out like what it was, now I was like, okay, well, if this is the way it is, like now I know what it is. At least I know it's something.
Hey, everybody. Chris G here. Time for another episode of the Hard Hat CEO with a guest today, Dennis Mark Internado, all the way from New Jersey. In
Yes,
the
sir.
Jersey Shore, is that right?
Jersey Shore, the dirty Jers. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I used to go to Jersey years ago when I was in sales. And you had the mob there? Because I felt like I was in a group of mobsters and they were laundering money through magazines. We printed magazines, and I'm telling you what, I didn't want to cross them, but they were nice guys. You just had this feeling.
They're always nice guys. Always.
Yeah. Stay on the good side.
That's it. That's it.
All right. Dennis Mark, tell me a little bit about yourself, will you?
Sure. I'm 47 years old. I am a full-time realtor here in New Jersey. I have an extensive background in building and home remodeling. We had a family business that I worked in for almost 20 years before I moved on and did my own thing with the real estate.
Yeah.
Prior to that, college graduate, Army veteran, and I feel like one of the last old school Italians on the Jersey Shore.
Tell me, so you had 20 years of construction work, I guess, with your family.
Yeah.
Were you just kind of did you have any I don't mean this negatively, but did you have any responsibility, or were you just kind of the grunt as far as go get me some stuff and so forth? Or did you oversee anyone?
So I literally started digging holes, sweeping up floors, being the helper. I was not the boss's son. I was the helper. I was at the job 30 minutes early, made sure all the tools were set up. So when the guys showed up, we were ready to go. I would stop working 30 minutes before everybody else and start cleaning up, dug holes in the pouring rain, worked my way up to taking the business over in 2015.
Awesome.
And yeah, man, I did it all. I did it all, from not only just working in the field, but working in the office too. And many of those years doing both.
Did you have siblings or anything like that?
I have one younger brother who is really not young anymore, Kevin. He worked the business with us too. Kevin's an actor now, so he left the business in like the mid 2000s to pursue acting. He is a full-time working actor now. And we worked for Dad he did as long as he could. And then when Dad retired, I retired the business with him. And that's when I decided to go off on my own and do my own thing.
Well, I was going to ask what caused you to go into real estate. Was that an easy transition for you?
It was actually. Shutting the business down was good. I was never like really into the construction. Love everything that I learned. It's like learning a trade. I could always make money with my hands if I had to, but it was just not for me. Transitioning into real estate was easy. I've actually had my license a very long time. I've been licensed since 2006. I just never utilized my license because we were always so busy with the business.
Mm-hmm.
But being in the industry for so long, it was an easy transition into real estate, and having the background has certainly helped me with building a clientele.
Sure. All your expertise and so forth, and looking at properties, and they have questions. Oh, you have a real estate. I know you have a real estate license. You have a broker's license or an agent's license?
I have an agent's license. Broker's license is probably coming.
Yeah.
There's really no point for me to have one unless I'm going to be utilizing it for something. And probably in a couple years, that'll come down the pipe, whether it's opening up my own brokerage or moving forward with the current company I'm with to try and maybe take on a little bit more of a higher position.
Is there anything that you learned as with your other company, with your construction company, that you've taken with you to where you're at now? And I mean, I'm not talking about more of philosophical business lessons.
Patience.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of patience by watching my dad. The building and remodeling industry in the residential setting is extremely stressful, especially when it's not new construction and people are not used to having work done on their homes and they're living in those homes through
Hmm.
the construction. A lot of them are not ready for it. And although we do our best to make them aware of what they're about to live through, there's always people who just like can't handle it, and you become the punching bag. That stress always comes back onto you.
Yeah.
So you just learn to understand that it's probably going to happen, and if it doesn't, great. But if it does, you're ready for it, and you just let people let it go. You let them air out on you. And
Yeah.
sometimes it happens in real estate too. I get clients that get frustrated with the other side of the deal. What are they doing? Are they crazy? How could they request that? And the
It's
frustration's got to be
part
let
of the
out
game.
somehow. Yeah.
And well, my mom was a real estate agent and I had my broker's license for a little bit. That was years ago. But you know, especially when somebody's living there and they're trying to sell it, and
Yeah.
you got to have it or look up. You got to have it nice and clean, and it's just because you got a first impression type thing, and it's a I can imagine. And
Yeah.
actually, that's why I say I don't need none of that. So like no. And then they think, well, you're smarter now because you've got that license. No, I just studied a little more than most.
That's it. Yeah. Just maybe just a little bit more experience in certain things. That's all.
So whether it be your old business or your current business, when things get you down, how do you stay motivated to be successful?
I really love being a realtor.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, I really love what I do. And I work all day, all night. Doesn't bother me. I love to do it. I've been doing this full time for about 3 years, but I've been all in for the last 6 years. 2019 is when I made the transition. I don't think there has even ever been a day where I thought, oh, this is just terrible. I've never felt it. And I've had some rough deals go through and everything, but I'm telling you, being in the residential construction really prepared me for this stress. That stress compared to this stress does not compare at all. At all. This is like a cakewalk for me
Yeah.
in regards to having a bad day versus what we used to go through with the family business.
I I flipped homes since 2001, and I can't imagine remodeling without as a flipper, you kind of do your own thing. It's your decision. You got to make a decision based on what you think you can sell it for. But
Mhm.
ooh, I can't imagine having to deal with that type of. But I grew up in a house that we remodeled 3 times,
Oof.
living through the dust and everything.
Yep.
And then my parents, when I moved out of the house, oh, they decided to build new. Ain't that nice? It's like whatever. But the amount of dust, people just dust can come from anywhere,
It always does. Yep.
and no matter if it's new construction, old remodeling, or whatever. Uh, Even moving out, people move out you clean the house before you can show somebody the house, and just years of collection and so forth.
Oh yeah,
Now you do some community work, right?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. So in addition to being a realtor, I ride with a motorcycle club called the Righteous Few. We
Hmm.
are we're a group of veterans and first responders. We're a nonprofit, and we do as much as we possibly can with some local veteran charities where we live here on the shore. So we'll put events on, and we'll take proceeds from those events, and we'll donate them to one or two of the veteran charities that we work with. One of the big ones is Ma Deuce Deuce that we work with here in New Jersey. They're based out of Toms River. Great organization. They do a whole lot for our vets. They get them out of the house. They get them out to different events. They take them fishing. They take them to ball games. They have like round tables for them, and they put on their own events and everything. So really excellent organization. They really care about our vets. And then I do a big food drive every year with the real estate business for a food pantry run by another local veteran organization called Vet Work. They're down in Forked River. And I start the food drive in October, and I run it all the way to Christmas. And I do 2 drop-offs. I do one for Thanksgiving, and I do one for Christmas. And I help load up the pantry with as much as I can collect. And then with Keller Williams, the brokerage that I have my license at,
Right.
we do this thing every year called Red Day. And Red Day is this one day every year where every Keller Williams brokerage in the world shuts down. And we go, and every office chooses a specific local charity, and we go work for that charity for the day, whatever they need, whether they need landscaping done or painting, or they need food, or they need money, or if they have residents and they need things for the residents, we will get things for them. Sometimes we take on local families through a specific charity. We'll remodel parts of the house. We'll rebuild decks. We'll buy them grills. We'll do whatever we can for that day with whatever money we raise throughout the year for that day. And it's a really great day, and people love doing it. You know, you're doing something good. You're giving back to the community, and it's not for you. So that's what makes it even more special.
It feels good to give.
It does.
And while I was going to say it's good for the people to receive,
Mm-hmm.
I'd assume that it's helping the team there. I mean, that's not the initial point, but it's good teamwork, camaraderie to work together and help others. Y'all see that a lot?
We do. It's funny though. We never. I mean, we utilize social media for what we do on Red Day, but we never really make it like a big spectacle. It's never about the brokerage. We never push the brokerage. It's always about the charity. Even when we're promoting it on social media, we're still trying to get more for the charity. Never once have I ever seen somebody try and utilize that day to try and get business out of it.
No. And you have year-round, I guess, fundraisers, little fundraisers to help for that big day.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Very, very soon, our office is putting on a really big golf outing. All that money is going to go toward Red Day. And we do, I think in like September, we do a really big comedy night. That money goes toward Red Day. So every year, the events that we've been putting on to raise money have been getting bigger and bigger. And the budget has also been getting bigger and bigger, which is good because now it allow us to maybe take on 2 charities this year and next year, or something like that, or work with one specific charity and maybe make a couple monetary donations to a couple other charities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you more of a listing agent or a selling agent, or do you do both?
This year, I'm about 50-50. I do both, but I'm about split this year, right down the middle. Yeah.
You have a favorite over one versus the other?
I do prefer, well, you know, they both have major benefits.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say, you know, listing the homes is a little bit easier. It's also a little bit more fun because I love marketing. My degree is in marketing. You know, I like to utilize social media to promote. So when you have your listings, you get to be on, you know, you get to promote, you get to be creative. I get creative with my videos. I have a huge marketing package that I do. Pride myself on the fact that I put this whole package together. But I don't get to spend a lot of time with the sellers as opposed to the amount of time I spend with buyers trying to find them something. So I always find that my relationships with my buyers are stronger after the transaction because I've spent more time with them. I'm in the field with them a lot more. So those are like the major benefits of each one. You know, with listing, I get to be a lot more creative and really enjoy that part of it. But when I'm with the buyers, I really, really get to know them because I'm with them so much.
The brokerage, do they advertise for you? You have to advertise for yourself.
Everything I do, I pay my own way. The brokerage does not give me anything.
Okay. Some are different. I didn't know what this one
Yep.
was. So do you do that yourself or you have others do that for you?
So I was doing it up until about a year ago all by myself. And I finally took the plunge and I hired a virtual assistant.
Nice.
She's great. Her name is Monica. She's in the Philippines. So
Mhm.
she's been with me for about a year now. We have a huge model built out now. She handles a lot of my marketing. She does all of my social media. And I still do a little bit of it myself because I only have her for a certain amount of hours every week. But I actually just upped her hours. So we're getting a little bit more done there. And I have a web development team that I hired on. I just built a brand new website a couple months ago, and that's up and running. I'm very, very proud of that website because I don't think you'll ever see a realtor's website like this one. It's just a different level. It really is. I have a transaction coordinator too. She just started working with me because if there's one thing that I am not good at, it is compliance. And I, I
Yeah.
needed help.
Yeah.
I needed help, man. And about 2 weeks ago, I just hired on my first full-time employee. And now he's with me 7 days a week. Wherever I am, he's with me. He's loving it. And I think in about 6 months, he's going to be in a really, really good spot with me. And it's really going to help the brand just start to grow. And we'll see. You know, right now I'm still acting as a solo agent. He's more in like an admin capacity, assisting agent. But I'd love to bring him and make him a full-on buyer's agent at that point, and then start a team and start building out a small team.
What you're doing today and knowing what you know now, is there anything you'd have done differently as a contractor as far as your marketing or your building your team out and so forth?
Yeah, I definitely would have adopted a CRM as a contractor. I didn't even know what that was until I became a realtor. And had I done something like that and maybe enlisted the help of some kind of like database manager or bring in someone in the office who understood all of that, that might have kept me in construction.
CRM, for those who don't know, is a customer relations
Management system.
management system. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically a database for all your clientele. And I don't know Excel. I never learned it. And everything, I'm a scratch paper guy. You know, like I've got these papers all over my desk still.
Hmm.
And I don't think I'll ever change, but I have learned to adapt to the new ways. I just have other people who handle it for me now.
There you go.
Yeah,
We talk about a lot about that. Going, you got to get out of the minutia, start signing to other people. You only do so much and start
yeah,
doing it. Have other people do it for you.
totally agree. And I was not like that ever. Neither was my father, you know, and that's my father's my main mentor. So for 20 years, he was my only influence in business. So
Hmm.
everything I know is because of him. Coming into real estate, the last 6 years have been an eye opener with just trying to learn the new systems and new ways to leverage,
Yeah.
but also getting used to it because, you know, we're a firm believer of, you know, no one's going to do it better than you. So that's why we do everything ourselves. Can't do that in real
Yeah.
estate. Can't
Got
do
to
it
break that
anymore at all.
mold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're getting there. We're getting there.
There you go. Oh, I had a question. I do this occasionally. It just leaves my mind.
It'll come back.
Yeah, I know. It'll goals. That's what it was.
Goals.
You set goals.
I do. I do set goals.
Yeah.
I have like 1 year goals, 3 year goals, 5 year goals, and obviously retirement goals.
Hmm.
Um, you know, being that I basically started over at 40 years old, sold my house, shut the business down, had some debt that I needed to pay off. So my life is like brand new again. The last 7 years have been a whirlwind of going from basically $0 in the bank to rebuilding, building up a brand new business and like reinventing myself. With that came goal setting, which is one thing I actually never did. You know, that wasn't a thing when I was with the family business. So still getting used to that too. But I do have goals set, and not just like financial goals. Like I have like, you know, what if goals. I have bucket list goals. You know, like
Hmm.
there are certain people I would love to meet and just like, I don't know, have a lunch with, that kind of stuff. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but they're there. I have what is that? They call that vision board.
Right.
I'm not a huge advocate of manifesting, but I do believe in it. I do believe if you put it out into your universe and you focus on it, it will happen, or some form of it will happen at some point. So,
Sure.
manifesting what I want for sure is part of the whole plan now, and setting those goals. But more importantly is revisiting those goals like every 6 months to see how far away or how close I am to getting to them. And if I have to, pivot in any way or adjust fire, then I do. They change. Sometimes those goals go away and, new ones come up.
What's it feel like today compared to where you're at? You said you started over. Do you
Man.
find yourself just sitting saying, wow, that's amazing?
Yeah, I never thought I would, and I don't say this as like what they call a flex or anything like that. I am not showing off with what I'm about to say, but I never thought that I could make the amount of money that I make now. I never even envisioned it. And that is beyond me still. Again, something I am trying to get used to be able to be the person responsible of building this business, this brand, and being the mastermind behind everything coming to me. It's a great feeling. With the business, I was always in my father's shadow, and I don't mean that negatively, but what I mean is like, I was always running the ideas past him. The last couple years, when I took the business over, the ideas were all mine, but totally different now, because now I don't work with anybody. It's just me. This is strictly me. And that was something new to also get used to. And now, yeah, man, my life is completely different. Every aspect of it, not just business, not just money, but my mindset. I started looking into things. I had a very rough childhood mentally. Turns out I got diagnosed bipolar depressive when I was 42. I started seeing a couple therapists, and turned out I was, I am what I am.
Right.
But I've had it my whole life, and I never got diagnosed because, back when I was a kid, that stuff wasn't a thing. My
Yeah.
parents just thought I was a moody kid.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I
Yep.
would, every once in a while, I would just kind of, I don't know, recluse into the room for a few days, don't see anybody, wait for it to pass, come back out. I didn't know how to verbalize anything. It took me like, just, I don't know, coming out of my own shell to, number one, go like acknowledge I had an issue. And then number two, go and try and get some help to find out really what's going on. Because it was starting to get pretty bad. But once I found out like what it was, now I was like, okay, well, if this is the way it is, like, now I know what it is. At least I know it's something. I can at least try to work with it and manage it now. And that's what I do, and a lot of the things that I do outside of work and business, like the charity work and things like that, that's actually what helps me combat that kind of stuff and keeps me level-headed. And, just because I might be having a bad day, I know that there's other people that are having far worse days than me. And that's what I have to always think about, like it's never worse than somebody else. And I truly believe that. And I just got to refocus that energy. I got to take that negative energy. I got to turn it around into something positive and then do something with it for somebody else.
You mentioned earlier that it's just you, but actually you've got your team now,
So I do have the team now. Yeah.
which is a good thing. And with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Yeah.
And
It
that's
does.
because it's not just you anymore. That's something years ago, my old boss drilled at my head. And then I still remember it's not just you. You've got people relying on you for their livelihood, really.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's a big deal.
That's a new
But
stress.
yeah, it's under stress. But if you let them help you do what needs to happen, they'll be taking care of themselves, really,
That's
in the
true.
long run.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis, it's been great. I ask on your name, Dennis Mark.
Yeah.
Did your dad call you Dennis Mark?
So My family calls me Junior
Oh,
because my dad is also Dennis.
okay.
But it's funny.
I'll just go
Dennis
ahead.
Mark is not part of my real name yet. I'm actually currently working towards changing my name legally to Dennis Mark Interdonato. And the reason why
Yeah.
is because Interdonato is a very long last name. And in real estate, it's not very marketable. It doesn't
No,
really,
you're right.
it doesn't look good on business cards and everything. So right now, I am currently down as Dennis Interdonato Jr., and that's not even my real name because on my birth certificate, it just says Dennis Interdonato. So I recognized recently that there are multiple versions of my name. So now what I'm doing is I am legally going to change it and then go after all the other versions of my name and change everything over to the same thing and just have a clean slate
Get
of
that branding.
that's
That's a
it.
branding right there. Yeah.
That's it. That's what we're doing it for. Yeah.
You got
So
to do it.
that's why I started using Dennis Mark. It's short, it's sweet, it looks good on paper. The
Yep.
logo, it's legible, and people can remember Mark a lot better than they can remember Interdonato.
You got that right. All right, Dennis. We appreciate your time today. And anybody out there looking for a realtor in the Jersey area, his information will be here in the show notes below. Also, if you want to have a breakthrough session and talk about teams and so forth with me, my link's in the bottom for a 30-minute free consultation. And Dennis, you have a great day. All right.
Chris, thanks so much, man. It was a pleasure.